I'm on the very last video and last day of our videos from our trip to Saigon. To be perfectly honest, I needed more time to process. And there were just so many things that I didn't want to capture because I wanted to be present. You probably noticed from this first video to even this video, the time of the video has just shortened so much because as time went on, I felt less compelled to want to record every moment, and I wanted to be so in the zone and in the moment with my husband because this was such a significant trip for me. I mean, out of my entire family, I'm the first person to go back to our home country, our motherland, since immigrating here. I was the first one to step back on the land where I was born, and there was a weight and significance to that. And the reality is that there was also a weight and significance to coming home, but coming home to Vietnam with my husband. You see, over the last several years, I would say almost 8 years of our life together, our marriage. I mean, we're celebrating 16 years in May 2026. So pretty much almost half of our marriage, there was a time where the Lord invited me into a season that I called the coming home season. And I'm still there, to be perfectly honest, but just coming home to who God made me to be, apart from expectation and culture, faith, work, motherhood, marriage, relationship, just all the layers and facets of a human being, I had to return home to just the simple idea of who God made Naman Johnson to be. Who am I? And on that journey, there was a lot of grief because I realized that as an extrovert and as somebody who wants everybody to participate, there were many people in my life at the start of the journey who didn't deserve to be a part of my journey of coming home. And that grief of recognizing that I had a lot of unhealthy relationships and connections to people who only wanted me when me benefited them, only wanted me when they could feel comfortable with saying really racist crap because they had that one Asian friend who wanted to be in my life and had connection and exposure to me. I had to shed those people off and do it with a tenacity and audacity to believe that the people that I had in my life and wanted to keep in my life and the life of my husband and my children were people who were deserving of being on the part of the journey of coming home. So once I realized that not everybody deserved to be a part of that journey, I felt a freedom. So when I was done with the grief of it all, I was actually able to celebrate the parts of me that deserve to be celebrated without any benefit to any other person, but simply myself. So that spiritual journey of coming home to who God made me to be able to step foot on the land that I was where I was born, to step foot on just it really felt like this beautiful land that I could experience with my husband, who is the closest person to me, who has journeyed with me through every part of coming home. It felt like this beautiful gift from the Lord of peace and an ending of that coming home. Thank you for being a part of this story and just watching this. I absolutely loved getting work done when I was in Vietnam and looking forward to getting more tattoo work done when I go back next year. Last night in Saigon, so we are going out way later than we're used to.
6:20.
But it's like what time?
10:08.
It's 10:08. But we're doing it because we want to see as much as we can at night. Plus, all the good street food is out. Like, people are hustling late at night for good street food. So, off we go.
Off we go.
Last night in Saigon, so we are staying out late, which would be the first time. Well, technically second time, because we got home from Hoi An so late. But we are heading out to the streets to find bomb street food and fun things before we All right, I'm gonna say it. We tried out this place. It had a ton of people. There was a Michelin sticker or whatever. It was so mid. Oh my chicken. What the frick? It was served in this boiling pot. But you have to wait so long for the meat just to cool down. I mean, look at this. Look at this. You have to wait so long just to eat. No, thank you. All right, we're on our last day. It was super low key because we had a very specific checkout time. So we only had so much ability to move and shake. So we went and found this delicious bun bun uk place that had bom ja and toppings for breakfast, and it was right next to my favorite coffee shop. So I was so glad that I got to go back and have one last iced banana latte from this location. Definitely coming back in 2027 here so I can share it with my family. But what we decided to do on our last morning in Vietnam was go to the place where we last lived. So my mom gave me an address months ago and we put it into Google, and this was where we were tracking that we lived. There were certain memories that she had. You know, I mentioned earlier, I'm the first person in my family to be able to go back to my home country, and I mean, I was itty bitty. I was real young when we left, so I didn't really have memory. My mom had memories of it, and my older brother and sisters definitely did. So I got to talk to them on the phone while we were going to where Google left us. And it was really interesting because, I don't remember anything. All my mom said was, we live by a river, which on the left side behind the streets that weren't there when I was born and lived, there's the river. But between this yellow building and the other building in that little nook that you're about to see, this is where Google led us to be like, this is your home. But what was interesting was Riley wasn't settled in this. He was just like, there's no way this could be it. He just didn't feel right that this was it, even though the river's right there. My mom said that, we lived across from a river. He was convinced that with the change of city infrastructure, we actually lived further down the other way towards where he was standing in the video. And so he was like locked in. He was mapping the crap out of this and really critically thinking about it. And he was like, no, 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 this couldn't be it. And so we actually ended up walking in the other direction to try to find where we actually lived before all the changes to the city. So we found the place. My mom gave us an address, but because of all the construction, it has changed where it's located. So this is actually the area that we lived. So there are certain things that my mom still remembers, which was there was this giant building down here that was a bank. My brother remembers a light pole in front of our home similar to this. The river is just over there. And so you can see this all new construction. And then there was a smaller bridge, so probably not this one, but smaller bridge that led to District 4. And so Riley was actually the one that found this, and he found it because since there's all new constructions and they've renamed everything. But if we look closely, Soko, so old number was 69, and then the road, and ours was 75. So this would have been in this direction, but it doesn't exist. So this was, in this area was where we lived before we came to America. Y'all, I wasn't even pressed to keep finding out more information because I knew I was going to be back. So we actually had to head back to our Airbnb to get ready to go to the airport. I know that I'm going to be going back, and I'm going to be going back next year with my mom and my family. So I wasn't pressed to keep going. I know there's more adventures in store for us as a family when we go home to Vietnam. But what I definitely want to say is I'm so grateful that you've spent time to watch these videos. I'm grateful that the memories that I was trying to capture for my mom are things that you're consuming on YouTube. Here's to many more videos where I decide that I don't want to capture anything for content, but I just want to be present. So I'm glad you enjoyed what I was able to capture. Have the most wonderful day, because today's a really good day to have a good day.